Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. The first song we're singing, Working for the Dawn of Peace, is a medley of two Civil War songs, one called Two Brothers, and the second one called Tenton Tonight. Accompanist on our last piece is Derek Moody, and you'll hear some solos by David Jones and Bethany Castillejo.
fortunate this weekend to have such a special guest conductor. Every year we invite someone to come in to work with the students, give them a fresh perspective, and to take them to new levels. And we've done a great job this year in our selection of a guest. And I guess I could read a bio about him, but you know, the best bio I think that you can say about somebody is the kids dig him. You know, you can have all sorts of titles and all sorts of accomplishments, and he does, but the kids dig him, and they've learned a lot. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I do want to introduce to you our very special guest, Dr. Randy Wagner from Eastern Washington University, Director of Choral Music and Vocal Music and Choral Studies. Let us greet him right now.
there are many soloists involved. I'm trying to learn names, but anyway, isn't that wonderful? Yeah, I've had the best time this evening. It'll take us a moment to get set for the next piece. We have some soloists again, too many names for me to remember. But I will say that we have an accompanist over here, I can remember her name. Shami Moon is going to play the piano for us, and we have a couple of professionals. So the title Zigeunerleben, it's a German title. Zigeuner is the word for gypsy. Leben is life, so gypsy life. In Robert Schumann's time, it was the height of Romanticism, and the gypsies that wandered throughout Europe were considered very exotic. So all the romantic people were, it's like, ooh, the gypsies, wouldn't you like to be a gypsy for a day? You know, go out and live in the open fields and enjoy the campfires and the magic and the stories and everything. So we're doing this in English, I hope you can understand the words, but this is a gypsy's life.
Magical fairy of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. Devout men buried Stephen and made great lamentation over him. But Saul laid waste the church, and entering house after house, he dragged off men and women and committed them to prison. Now those who were scattered went about preaching the word. Unclean spirits came out of many who were possessed, crying with a loud voice, and many who were paralyzed or lame were healed. Saul, breathing threats and murder against the disciples of the Lord. He went to the high priest, and asking him for letters to the synagogues at Damascus, so that if any be found belonging to the way, men or women, he might bring them bound in chains back to Jerusalem. Now as he journeyed, he approached Damascus, and suddenly a light from heaven flashed about him, and he fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to him,
gentlemen, Drew Hansen, narrator, and Elizabeth Batchelder, organist. It's almost already done. We worked for 2 days. Wow, you guys, that was great. At this point, like I said, my reason for being here in part is due to a person that I worked with in high school, a mentor, my high school voice and choir teacher. That's why I'm standing here tonight. I would like for each of the 6 teachers, high school teachers, to stand and come down here, please. Now, I didn't prep them on this, so you guys have a moment to think. Debbie, you'll be first. She's going to try and weasel to the end of the line. What I want them to do, I mean, every one of us has someone special that is like, why am I doing this? And I'm curious to know who the person is that is probably most significant in the fact that you're a music teacher.